There we go. How's everyone doing? Starting to get a few people in here now. Wanted to get this one done really quickly today, or kind of get this out of the way earlier today, because I do want to get over to the house. But this is my long weekend off, so I'm going to spend the next 4 days at the house, and that's going to be fun. Supposed to get some rain this week, so it'll be a good day to spend inside. Actually, looks like we got a storm kind of blowing in a few hours, so there's the co-host again showing you his butt. Yeah, I think the kiddies are going to be a little freaked out by the place, but you know what? I think they'll come to love it. There's a lot of places for them to go explore, and they'll have a time. Ultimately, I think one of the things I want to do before they move in is maybe get their room ready, because once they're in there, it'll be hard to kick them out of their room. Sunny in Houston, yeah, it was sunny here a couple hours ago, but there's a storm kind of moving down towards us, so they're saying now we may hit it. And it's funny. This morning they were saying that it would probably go north of Dallas, but now it's kind of changed direction. It might hit us in a few hours, so that's cool. I, it'll be interesting to see how the house deals with rain. Oh no, you turned around and showed us your face. That was nice of you. Yeah. Come on, you're still shedding a little. Let's get the hair off the back first here. Want to make you look good for the internet here, for all your fans that are watching right now. Okay, you can stick your head up so they can see you at least. Yeah, I love having the pool. The pool's going to be great for when I'm doing like working on the house, and it's like, hey, I need a break. I need to cool off. Hey, let's hop in the pool for a minute. Oh, I'm sure Jordan's okay. He's a big boy. Yeah, Joan, I agree. I really like the house too. It's every every time I go there, I find something new. I look at that and says, wow, that's really cool that that's done that way. So yeah, they put a lot of thought into that house. The only disappointment really I have about the house right now is the fact that it's almost too perfect. There's not going to be anything really to do with it except paint it. I mean, I want to do some landscaping in the backyard. Want to kind of get to the point. One of the things I always did at my house in California is I tried my best to use plants to like kind of erase the borders of the yard. And right now the border is that big wooden fence that goes around the back. So I'll probably put a lot of plants and bushes and stuff like that to kind of cover that up. That'll also add to the privacy a little bit. But I also like the fact that, like, none of the houses in the area are two-story houses, so you don't have people peering over the backyard from their window and stuff like that. That was always an issue I ran into in my house in California, because all of the houses were two stories. I could peer into their backyard, they could peer into mine. It just, yeah, I don't know. I like to be able to escape. Yeah, there's actually two entrances into the rafters. Not the one from the garage that you saw in the video, and then there's another one in the closet in the master bedroom. So, that I guess that makes it easier. You can get into different parts of the house without having to crawl across the entirety of the house to get someplace. Well, Tracy, yeah, I learned basically everything I know by watching like those home improvement TV shows. I used to just be obsessed with those, watched them all the time, and you'd be surprised what you pick up by watching those things. Well, actually, I emptied out the pods months ago. I decided after they started screwing me over because of their mistake that I wanted to just kind of break free of them completely because you'll recall that the pod that was supposed to arrive here, they admitted that they screwed up when I asked them, hey, I'm moving away from the house. Now you can move the first one to my apartment, and they admit they received that order but didn't do it. And as a result, it was like 2 weeks before I got my stuff. And so I lived in an empty apartment here for 2 weeks, with just the clothes I brought with me from California and a blow up mattress that I bought. And that's really all I had for about 2 weeks and my laptop. And so I got really mad at them. My original plan was to leave all my stuff in the pods until I moved into a house, which means this would have been a year later. They were making like $5,000 a month. Oh, no, about $1,000 a month on that. And because they decided to cheap out in terms of, reimbursing me for their mistake, a mistake that they admit was their mistake, they lost a lot of money. So whatever. What I did is, and it was probably a better idea anyway because by moving it out of the pods and into storage locker, it was a quarter of the money, and I have immediate access. The originally the pods were up in Temple, and Temple is about 30 miles from here. So if I wanted to get something out of one of the pods, first off, I had to call ahead, have them get the pod down for me, assuming I remember which pod everything was in, and then drive 30 miles, fish through the pod to try and find it. Hope I did find it. Then have them put everything back up, drive back home again. It's way easier now because I have it in a storage locker. It's a quarter of a mile here. I can walk there from here, pick up something, and the storage locker has a lot more maneuverability, so I can actually get to everything. So yeah, it was a good move. Did Pods ever reimburse me for their mistake? No, never. That was why I escaped the pod people. I didn't want anything to do with that anymore. If they're going to screw me over, it's fine. I'm done with you guys. I'll never do anything with them again. I mean, it is expensive, Robert, but it's a great idea. You know, it's way simpler than, having to do a moving truck or something like that, assuming you're willing to put the stuff into the pod yourself. And I was willing to do that. I was a little bit more on a budget at that point because, it's expensive to sell a house. And I had to do so much to get the house ready. I had to paint it twice, do a lot of repairs. I had to bring in some professionals to do some like copper piping and drywall stuff. I'm not really good at either of those, so I had to save money where I could. But yeah, definitely going to do the movers route this time. Yeah, you're right, Jan. It's superior in every way. Less expensive, easier to access, and I can get at everything because basically, when I put the stuff into the storage lockers, I kind of left an aisle going down the middle, so I can get all the way to the back of the lockers, and if I know where something is, I can find it for the most part. I tried to find my dresser drawer in the storage locker. I know where it is, but unfortunately, it's buried under stuff, and I'd have to move it. I know I wanted to try and find a pair of swim trunks that I had in there. In the end, I just ended up wearing a pair of short pants, but whatever. Well, I plan on completely moving out of the storage lockers. So everything from the storage lockers is going into the house. In fact, that's part of the deal with the movers is that they're going to be unloading one apartment, two storage lockers, and moving it all to a house. So yeah, you're right, Tracy. No landlords, no mortgage, no noisy neighbors. I was at the house last night. I've mentioned this before, but ever since I got to Waco, I get out and walk around a lot more. And last night I decided to actually go over to the house at night and just take my nightly walk over there. And I was there at like 9:30 or 10 o'clock, and it was quiet. I love a neighborhood like that that just gets quiet at night. You know, Saturday night and 9:30, everybody's in bed. Perfect. If the previous owners had left the swings, would I have kept them? Originally, my plan was to give them to someone else who maybe had kids in the neighborhood. But I was thinking if they did get left, I probably wouldn't keep the swings, but I would have kept the framework. And, you know, I kind of like having like a bar to hang on and stuff like that. It's good for my back. And I thought I might have modified that and turned it into just like a pole or something I could hang on, but didn't matter. I have to pay taxes, yeah, but taxes are about $300 a month. You know, compare that to the $1,100 a month I'm paying in rent, and probably more I would have been paying for a mortgage. I'm still coming out ahead. Hey, Nibble, you came down. You want some treats, huh? Is that it? No, we've been going for 12 minutes and 45 seconds. I guess you guys can have a treat. Come on, there's one for you. Oops, got away from me. Here you go, Nibble. That one's for you. That one's for you. All right, one more for you, Nibble, and then we're done for a little bit. Now, Bite can just sit there and stare lovingly at the jar again. Thanks, Fred from Vancouver, Canada. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, the night, and it's so dark in that area. I love the night that I actually bought the house. I actually wanted to see how bright it was. You know, if there were street lights in the area or something like that. I've never really noticed that, but I love the fact that there are no street lights and no neighbors that have like really bright floodlights in front of their house. You know, that light up the neighborhood is dark, and I love that. I love it when it's dark when I sleep. I'm dark and quiet, and this place seems like it's going to be both. Well, I think how many times a year do I have to pay my taxes? I mean, I think you can do it, once a year if you want, but I think there's just a payment thing where you just pay a monthly installment, and I think I'll do that because, that makes a lot more sense to do. And if it's and it seems I heard it was like $300 a month. So if I can do that, we'll do that. Am I settling into the new home well? Not into the new home. I'm still in the apartment, as you can see. Um, I was hoping to, schedule a mover to maybe be here as early as today, but when I talked to them a few days ago, they said I guess they wanted to come see what they're getting into. So I guess they want to see the apartment, what's in it, and go see the storage lockers. And I couldn't do that during my work week, so you know, we'll probably do something today. I checked the fence for tortoise escape routes. Yes, I definitely have. I've looked over it a number of times. There's a few places that I think are, maybe sketchy, and I can touch them up. I'm thinking about possibly uh, doubling up on the fence, putting, because if you look at the fence, you get the framework and then the fencing materials on the side facing away from my house. Now, obviously, it was built by somebody who owned this house because it's all one fence going all the way around, and then the neighbors have different things going off of it. Uh, but I still see the inside of the framework. I was thinking about taking another set of the slats and going on the inside, and deal with that. Then what I would do is weatherproof the wood so it would hold up. One of the things I noticed is that the fencing that is there is starting to get a little weather eroded. And I think one of the things I would want to do if I did move, or did do something with that fence, is I probably one of the things you run into with the wood is if the wood is wet when you install it, it tends to shrink a little bit as it dries out. So I think I'd probably want to dry the wood ahead of time, then weather seal it, and once it's weather sealed, then then install it, and then it shouldn't shrink anymore. Taxes and insurance, yeah. But I mean, the taxes and insurance were all part of the mortgage I paid in the house before too. So that was a factor there. And it's not the fact that it's a mortgage; it's the fact that it's the amount. And if I can get it down to $500 a month, for taxes and insurance, then we're in good shape. Does Flash dig holes? Yes, she does. Yes, she does. She around this time of year, well, no, a little earlier. Usually in the spring, she'll start digging holes because she'll lay eggs, and so we'll have to deal with that. A friend of mine also suggested I should probably dig a hole and make some like underground thing for her, so that she can escape the Texas heat. And that's probably a good idea. We'll find some corner in the yard that doesn't get any sun, and we'll dig a little hole and maybe line it with broken pottery or something like that, just to kind of create like some place that she can go where it'll stay cool. How will Flash get to Texas? I think we're still at some point. My friend Beth is going to come, and she's the one who's taking care of Flash right now, and she was talking about driving out here. So, if that happens, then we'll do it that way. If not, we'll do it some other way. We'll get her here. Now that I have the house, I mean, I want to get the house ready for her so that it's in, so that she can be safe and comfortable here. Have to watch the holes in the fence so she doesn't dig her way out. Yeah, I don't think she digs that deep. She'll dig a little bit of a hole, and it seems not to be, digging for like burrowing or anything. It seems like she just digs to plant her eggs, and then once the eggs are done, she's done with it. So, what color do I think they'll paint the kitty's room? I don't know. I don't know. And that's something I'll probably have to do. It's kind of a mint green color in there in California, and I don't know. We'll come up with something interesting. Flash is going to hitchhike to Texas. I don't know. The way I've seen her take off down the block, she could almost walk here. How's my mom? Is her freedom being restored? No, as a matter of fact, I talked to her. It wasn't last night. It was the night before. She called me. I think on Friday night. And as much as she loves her apartment, she's already talking about moving out because she's been basically a prisoner in that place under house arrest ever since ever since my father died. And she just doesn't like that anymore. She's finding she needs to have family and or friends, somebody she can socialize with, and being locked in her room all the time, it's getting old on her. Um, so yeah, she's gonna have to, I think, move. We've always kind of been thinking about having her move up to Sacramento to be with my sister, and she's always kind of resisted that idea. I guess she doesn't really like the heat up in that area, and but she's reconsidering that, and I think she's going to move up to Sacramento at some point, maybe in the very near future. Like I said, she doesn't like being locked in her apartment. Other than that, she's doing fine. Apparently, they're getting very rebellious when none of the attendants are on the floor. What they'll do is all the neighbors will open up their door. They'll come out and sit in front of their door, and they'll talk to each other in the hall. So my mom's becoming a rebel. Am I going to paint it myself, or am I going to hire somebody to do it? No, I'm going to paint it myself. If it's something I can do, there's certain things I either can't do or aren't good at yet, and drywall is one of those things. I don't do very well with drywall, so I prefer to yield to the experts on that. But painting, I can paint. I've painted the inside of my house 3 times. Um, Painted the outside of my house once in California, so I can do that. Why is she locked in her apartment? Well, the senior home that my mom lives in, they're concerned about their patients. So basically, they've locked everyone in their apartments, and they've been there since what, middle of March. I was telling my mom the other night, I can't see how she does that. She was also talking about the fact that one of the reasons she kind of wanted to stay in where around her house is because all her friends are there. But the truth is, and she had to kind of come to terms with this last night or the other night. Most of her friends, aren't around anymore. Unfortunately they're dropping like flies. People she's known all her life, and they're just they're in hospice care. They're blind. They can't. They're in some other hospital somewhere. It's no good. So she made some new friends at her apartment, but it's not the same. Again, she needs and my mom's a very sociable person, so I wouldn't be able to understand how she does it. I told her that. Thank you, Jan. I appreciate that. For a housewarming gift, buy a new piece of artwork or lawn art for the house. Okay, you got it. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I've been having a couple people sending me like PayPal's lately too. I was thinking what I want to do is like start investing some of those donations into specific projects. So that may happen very soon. Because I got another PayPal contribution this morning. Now my concern about my mom moving up to Sacramento is the issue with being locked in the apartment isn't something that's coming from the specific apartment she's in, or even Huntington Beach where she lives. This is a state policy that's really pushing this, and unfortunately Sacramento is in the same state, so I don't know how much different it's going to be there, except for the fact that my sister and her husband and the kids will be able to we'll be a little closer, and somebody can come and help. My mom has been counting on some of her friends and neighbors. Beth has been a big help. um, Beth's parents, John and Marge, have been a big help. My sister's friend, and now my mom and dad, former next door neighbors, have been a big help. So But my mom gets a little guilty, living, depending on, others, non-family people, to do that kind of stuff. So she doesn't really want to do that either. Yeah, see, I think that's just really common with these assisted living places because let's face it, the people who are most susceptible are older people. That's where you find older people is in senior assisted living places like this. Yeah, PayPal still takes a little bit, but what they do is they take about 1%. So 1%, 1% of $10 is 10 cents. So PayPal's got to make a little money too, and that is the way to go. I do appreciate that. Yeah, they call them nursing homes here too. I just think it's maybe senior assisted living facility. Nursing home implies, I don't know. I guess it implies, well, probably implies old people living in it, living together. But I think a nursing home generally implies that there's a nurse, where a senior assisted living is basically just a place that's safe for older people to live, but doesn't really have the medical staff on site. Yeah, my mom doesn't want to come to Texas. Hi, Sammy. Yeah, you're not that late. We've only been going for 30 minutes. We'll be here for a while. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. It's nice to be appreciated, right? You like to be appreciated by, huh? For you being appreciated just means that you get fed, right? Don't have to live in my backyard eating bugs. Yeah, that's how you started your life, didn't you? Living in my backyard eating bugs. Now you're living in my house, wondering how you're going to get the door or the cap off the kitty treats. That's the biggest thing in your life right now is how do you get the cap off that? Will I buy a new pool float? I don't know. We'll see. I got to learn how all that is done. I got to admit, I know nothing about swimming pools, so I got to do some research on it. Fortunately, it's got this little robot crawler thing that creeps along the bottom and picks up all that junk. But I got to learn how that thing works too, and I got to learn how to balance the chemistry. I think maybe before they left, they over chlorinated a little bit because when I get in there and come out, my eyes are red. So it's probably a little over chlorinated. That's probably a good thing for starting off, just because you don't know how long it's going to be before the new owner picks it up and runs with it. So have I met any of the neighbors yet? No, I have not. But I've been there like late at night or on weekdays so far. This is going to be the first weekend day that I've actually been there and spent the day there. So I don't know. We'll run into neighbors at some point. I mean, I've seen people out walking around, but I don't know anyone. I don't know if any of them are directly my neighbors. Hello, South Carolina. How's it? How you doing there? Yeah, that's what you're thinking, bite. You wish you had thumbs, don't you? Yeah, no thumbs for bite. Saltwater pool? No, no way. Well, Jordan and Amy visit. If they want to, they're invited. I'll have a nice guest bedroom if they choose to come. It's hot in South Carolina. Yeah, it's hot here too. It's a good time to be spending indoors doing stuff with the air conditioning on. Yeah, well, first thing I got to do in terms of figuring out that pool is I got to figure out how much water's in it. So I'm going to have to go and do some math and calculate, how many cubic feet of water is, and then we can go from there and figure out how many gallons that is. It's a big, massive doughboy pool. I bet you it's 25 or 30 feet across. So, yeah, I can't imagine a saltwater pool. That doesn't sound right. Have to have a housewarming party, have to have a pool party on the 4th. Yeah, maybe. It's not hot in Ontario, Canada. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I may do an Amazon wish list at some point. What I'd really like right now, if somebody wanted to do something, is just a Home Depot gift card. You can get those online, and if you wanted to mail it to the escapingthemouse at gmail.com address, that would be perfect. That would be so much appreciated because so much of what I'm going to be doing over the next 6 months, 10 months, year, whatever, it's going to be stuff that's going to come out of Home Depot. So, otherwise, PayPal's good too. But you're right. I may set up an Amazon wish list at some point. Yeah, you're right. Contact Doughboy and they may send me literature and tips. I bet you they have a website too that I could look in on. You started sneezing when I went up in the attic. Yeah, actually, it wasn't dusty up there. It was really hot and there was a lot of that insulation. That was insulation. So, it wasn't much in the air. It was just yeah, but I really like the fact that that house seems to be just overly insulated. That was one of the things that the guy who did the inspection of the house noted is that there's just tons and tons of insulation in there. So, and I've noticed that too because I've been kind of keeping the air conditioning at kind of low levels when I'm not there. And for instance, for the last few days, I had it just kind of at a very low level. When I get in there at the end of the night, it isn't hot in there. It's actually pretty comfortable in there. So I think the house is well insulated, and I know it's double pane windows throughout. So you know, maybe that's just the advantage of having a house that was not built junky the way this place is built. Because you turn off the air conditioning for an hour in here, and it'll be 90 degrees in here. A couple nights ago, I thought before I went to bed, it's getting a little cold in here. I'm going to turn off the air conditioning. By the time I got up in the morning, I was sweating. It was so hot. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to love having the pool because this is the perfect place to do it. Palm Desert is another one, a place where it's hot a lot. And what I really like, I'm kind of a fair skinned person, so I like the fact that there's actually trees over the pool. So you don't get full on sun when you're out in the pool. Downside of that is the leaves tend to drop into the pool, but you know what? We'll just have to keep track of that. Yeah, I like my backyard too. Hey, Nibble, look who's back. Yeah, Bite may find that his ESP doesn't work on removing the cover. It just works on getting me to remove it for him. Now it's Nibble who's showing you her butt. Okay, that's it for now. All right, we're back. My face is red. Yeah, a little bit. I think partly it has to do with the lights that I'm using. I mean, yeah, my face is sometimes a little bit red, but nice oak in the back. Is it a live oak or a water oak tree? I don't know. I don't know anything about many of the plants in the yard. So if it's an oak tree, that's great. I love oak trees. I got my maple tree, and we'll definitely put that in the backyard somewhere too. Uh, yeah, somebody asked for a belly rub, but Mike just walked away. So I guess it's just me. You're going to have to deal with me now. Yeah, I've been thinking about some sort of a cover for the pool. Am I moving anything from the apartment myself, or am I waiting for the movers to do it? I've moved a couple things over, and I'll probably continue to do so. Um, I decided, I think that one of the things I want to do this week is to go out and get a new barbecue, because the barbecue I have, I think, is just, since it's a natural gas barbecue and it's kind of bad off inside. I'm thinking I may just replace it with a propane one. And since I may do that this week, I'm thinking I've got a whole bunch of like meat in the freezer, and I might move that over to the house so I could do some barbecuing over there. Since I'm going to probably spend most of the week there this week. Up until Wednesday, I go back to work on Thursday. But probably spend until Wednesday over there, and I may spend a night over there at some point. My mom has been asking, have I taken the inflatable mattress that I bought when I moved here and spent the night over there? And I said, no, I haven't, but I suppose I could. So I might do that this week. Did I get the rockets in the bottom of the pool? Yes, I did. Actually, turns out there's three of them. I thought there were only two, but I found a third one. It took me a second to figure out what you're saying there, Diane, because it looked like, if you read it specifically, take some of your clothes over, stuff that won't take mushroom in the car. I guess it's much room. I'm saying, wait, mushroom. What? How does that work? Yeah, mushroom. I know. You made me laugh though, so that's good. Oh yeah, you'll definitely see much of the moving. How deep is the pool? I think it's probably 36 to 42 inches. That's one of the things I want to do. I think I'm going to bring a tape measure over there today and try and figure out how deep it is, how wide it is, because I need to know that. If I can figure out what the volume of the pool is, then I can figure out how many gallons it is. When am I going to move the cats to the house? The cats will probably move before the real stuff moves, because I want to have them in the house, and so they can be locked in their bedroom while the moving is occurring. And so yeah, they'll we'll figure that out as we go along. But yeah, it'll probably be before the primary moving happens. Yeah, I don't think the pool's even 5 feet tall. It's probably 4 feet tall. So I would guess the water is, like I said, 36 to 42 inches deep. I'll bring a tape measure over there today. We'll figure that out. Because one of the things I'm gonna have to know before I can, balance all the chemistry in the pool and stuff like that is, how many gallons is it? Yeah, I'm only guessing. I know that when I stand up in the pool, the water comes up to about here. So it definitely isn't 5.5, because 5.5 would bring it up to about here when I'm standing up. Yeah, definitely no high dives. Have I done my research on a reliable lawnmower? Well, I actually have a lawnmower. I want to see if sometimes it's a little hard to start because I've had it for 20 years, uh, and the longer it's been off, the harder it is to start. It might just need a tune-up, but I think it might be okay uh, if I get that. I considered getting a riding lawnmower if I was going to have a bigger yard, but the yard isn't really big enough to justify, I think, a riding lawnmower. I think it's just going to be a push mower. And I mean, if the one I have isn't good, can be made to be in good shape again, then we'll do that. Does it have a deck? No, it's got a little ladder that goes up and over the. I assume you mean about the pool. It has kind of a patio cover of like flagstone kind of material. But I'm gonna have to do some work with that. That flagstone's kind of coming apart. That's really the only that's not how it's done thing I've seen at the house. I've seen a couple things that I would categorize as that's kind of stupid, but I have a flower garden. Very possible. I mean, not necessarily a flower garden, but I do like plants that flower. And one of the things I mentioned earlier is one of the things I did in my house in California is I always like to use plants to kind of erase the borders. I put big plants up against the house next to me, so I didn't have to see it. I had big plants along the wall, separating the to the neighbors and all that. So I may end up doing that again. And I do like things that flower because I like to attract, natural wildlife, bees, butterflies, hummingbirds, stuff like that. It's funny, I stopped by the house last night on the way home from work, and as I was walking out, I saw this big, massive lizard. It was probably a good 10 or 12 inches long, hanging out on the side of the house. I've seen a couple of chameleons. I think I even showed you one of them. Uh, and I had lizards, in my house in California, but nothing this big. This thing was huge. So I kind of like it that that kind of stuff is around here. I have a green thumb. Oh no, that's a lie. That's fake news. My thumbs aren't green. See? No, I do like working with plants. So yeah, I was appreciative of those of you who told me that was called a lantana flower that I showed at the end of last night's video. Cool water temp, mid 80s, I would say. Yeah, I mean there isn't even a heater on the pool. It's just all the sun that does all that, and just the fact that now for the next 5 months, it's going to be between 75 and 95 every day. Yeah, no, I'm not eating them. I love just having that kind of stuff around there. I love the wildlife, and the truth is, lizards like that, they're insect eaters, so that's a bonus. You hate snakes, okay? Yeah, well, that happens. I have respect for snakes. I don't hate them. I had a jasmine bush in my yard. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep it alive, but I love the smell of it. That was something I did because I'd seen it at Disney because Disney used to have jasmine in a lot of their planters, and you'd go buy it, and it's like, whoa, that smells really nice. Yeah, I am planning on getting a new backyard grill because the one I have, for one thing, it's old and it's got a lot of miles on it. I mean, I got it when I moved into the house originally, and I mean, I'd use it 3 4 days a week for dinner, sometimes more. And so I got tons and tons of miles out of it. And unfortunately, the burner element. all melted and destroyed. The igniter for the gas is destroyed. The drip pan is all rusted out. So I don't know. We'll probably end up replacing it. Haven't seen any skunks in the area or any larger wildlife, but it wouldn't surprise me that it's there. It's a wild enough area. There's squirrels in the area. I've seen them. Missed your pool because the gym is shut down. Yeah, yeah. See, that's the advantage of having your own pool. And even if you're shut down, you can go. You have a family of skunks there. I think skunks are cute. I think I wouldn't mind having one as a pet, assuming you have it descented. I believe they could do that. They seem to have great personalities. Yeah, cute animals. All right. What would you think about having a skunk? Huh? That's your answer to everything. Yeah, well, I've seen possums. I've seen armadillos. I caught that armadillo on camera way back when I think it was down in Cameron Park. Money tree in the yard. I don't know about that. I've been looking for one of those. I haven't been able to find a good one. Yeah, you might have to wait a year for Halloween. I want to kind of scope out how this neighborhood does Halloween. Uh, so it may be not this year, but next year before I do Halloween. Christmas, that's another thing. I don't think there'll be, anything weird. With me going Christmas. You heard that skunks are like ferrets. Yeah, ferret would be another fun pet to have. Your uncle got sprayed by a skunk and his skin turned orange. Was that because of the spray or because he had some allergic reaction to it? Will Bite and Nibble be able to use the yard or will they be house cats only? They'll be primarily house cats only, but in the house in California, I sometimes let them out in the backyard when I was out there. And so it'll probably be the same here. They'll get to go out and explore. And, like I said, they'll be locked in the backyard. They won't be able to get out. So, and it'll only be when I'm there. So, yeah, they'll get to go out a little bit and look. You can tell it's a full size candy bar neighborhood, huh? Well, that's okay. I don't necessarily do that. You know, but I compensate because I'll usually buy lots and lots of candy, and so every kid that comes to the house, they don't get just one or two. I'll grab a handful of stuff and throw it in their bag, so it all comes out. Yeah, yeah. I still have to wear a mask at work. That's the only part of the job right now I'm not a fan of. Sammy Chicken is wondering if it is the same size as a large house cat. I don't know. Is what the same size as a large house cat? I don't know. Maybe that's part of a conversation that someone else is having. But you have a skunk that lives under your back deck. You use the skunk to protect your yard and consume catching scraps. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess if you have a good relationship with it and it doesn't spray you, that's probably a Good thing to have. Got a kick out of the doorbell sounds. I wait for the day where they allow you to have a doorbell with it. You can plug into your computer and just put like an MP3 on it, and you can do anything you want. They have outdoor screened-in cat houses. Yeah, I've seen those. I'm not really sure that's going to work in this case because the cat's room is in the front of the house, and so I think that would be a security issue. It might be an option if it was in the back of the house. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, you meant okay. I figured that's what you meant, Sammy, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, skunk. Yeah, a skunk is about the size of an average size cat, maybe a slightly small cat. It's definitely half of this guy. Yeah, I wasn't really that impressed with a lot of the bells either. I would, like I said, it would have been great if they had like a little you know you could put like a memory chip in there that had like an SD card or something like that, and had your own recordings on it. And you could put anything, basically, just put an MP3 and it would play that. There's no reason that shouldn't be doable. Not in today's technology, right, Bite? Isn't that insane that they didn't do that? Huh? That's insane that they didn't do that. Wow, we got 94 people here. Well, you do notice that that's where he's looking. He's looking at the treat jar, or was. Now that I'm talking again, yeah, we'll do a belly rub. Everybody likes the belly rubs, especially Bite. Bite generally isn't a very much of a cat for being picked up and handled, but if the belly rubs are coming, he'll usually tolerate that for a minute or so. Yeah, there he goes. He's starting to get frustrated now. All right, belly rub over. Get all the cat fur off me here. Do they still sell door knockers? I would assume so. My house has one, so yeah. If I did have a skunk, that's what his name would have to be. Pepe Le Pew. Should patent the doorbell ring idea of mine. Oh, come on! I'm sure somebody's come up with that. Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen Jeff yet. But this is Sunday, and he's a pastor at a church, so I bet you that's the reason. I bet you he doesn't know him yet. Did I get a new doctor when I moved? I really haven't needed to go to the doctor. I had that one case where I had my ear get all plugged up, and I just went to an emergency center there. I have actual insurance, but like I said, I'm pretty healthy, so I don't really actually have a doctor at this point. Is Jeff a dad? I don't know. I've never heard him talk about that. I know he's a pastor and a master barbecue operator. Yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It's kind of a bittersweet day for me because this is my first Father's Day without a father. Yeah, I miss mine too. There are times I wish I could talk to him about what was going on at work, because he was so excited about the new job. My mom keeps telling me, yeah, well, he's looking down and smiling. I say, yeah, I know, but it'd be still be nice to talk to him and have him talk back. Right, Bite? Yeah. See, let's count how many times they go to Home Depot or Lowe's. Well, it'll be Home Depot more. Lowe's is fine. I've been there a number of times, but I'm a Home Depot person. See, she'll talk to me too. She's just got a very dainty meow. Now you're getting to the point where you're trying to steal from Bite. That's probably just revenge for all the times he's stolen from you, huh? Okay, back to here. Actually, both Home Depot and Lowe's have their advantages. I kind of like the fact that Lowe's kind of has a little bit more artsy fartsy kind of stuff. And that's right, I just said fartsy on the live stream. They have a bunch of doorbells on the internet that have SD cards. Yeah, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Like I said, it was an afterthought after I heard the kind of lousy ringtones that were available. My friend's coming to help me move. Well, I think in this case, the move is going to be done by the movers. My mom did that when she moved out of her house, and that was way easier to go. And then I'll just have to go there and sit there and you know, unpack. And I'll probably have I was thinking my sister had mentioned a while back that she would consider coming out and helping with some of that. So maybe it's time to call her and have her come visit. I could definitely use her. Her eye in terms of decorating that guest bedroom and stuff like that. And I think she'd get a kick out of doing that. Your wireless doorbell, you got to use jumpers to change the tone. Oh, yeah, I guess that's one way of doing it. Yeah, this one's easier. It's a push button. No, I haven't really thought about much in terms of the colors of the house yet. That's not something that inspiration is just going to have to strike. And I'll have to see. I may do something weird on the walls too. You asked people that were in the old house. I did some kind of strange things on the walls and ceilings, and I kind of want to do that again. Yeah, Lowe's is a direct competitor to Home Depot. I knew of Lowe's in California. I don't know, maybe, yeah, they're probably not everywhere, but Lowe's is like Home Depot. It's a hardware, lumber, kind of everything home store. It's a home improvement store. It's probably the best way to describe it. You know, everything need to, you know, do, like, you know, wiring, plumbing, electrical, uh, you know, HVAC, you know, doors, windows, flooring, sinks, cabinets, lumber, planting, yard stuff, all that. That's all in there. Bear Claws nearby. There's a Shipley's Donuts over there, very close. And Shipley's was one of the places I found Bear Claws when I was here. So same company, not the same company, but competitors. They kind of do the same thing. Well, traffic is pretty normal and pretty quiet even on the busy days. You know, the only place where we have any traffic around here is on the interstate right outside of town, and that's because they got so much construction going on there. Well, they changed the chimes on the doorbell when the seasons change. I don't know. Like I said, there's only a couple of on there that I think are even something I'd want to have. So you're making a super easy dessert. If I'm interested for the next cooking and baking vlog, send it in. I'll take a look at it. Like I said, I'm probably not going to be doing any cooking vlogs for a while just because, you know, there's other things going on. But it will pick up on that at some point. You worked at Home Depot. You were a technician in the tool rental department. Gotten a lot of stuff from tool rental. You know, when I had to when I had to paint the outside of my house a couple of years ago, I, you know, rented a pressure washer from a Home Depot. That's really handy to have that kind of stuff. I haven't been back it was downtown Waco on Austin Avenue. I haven't been down there though since the last vlog, and that was a few weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know. I might build some sort of a deck around the pool. We'll figure it out. I don't think it'll go all the way around the pool, but it'll probably be around the ladder area. You just like to be the center of attention, don't you? Everyone got quiet all of a sudden. Someone mentioned getting a yellow rose bush, the yellow rose of Texas. Yeah, maybe. You can strip, take apart, and repair any tools in the whole department. That's cool. That's a good skill to have. Was the realtor surprised when I said I wanted to buy the house? I did. Um, no, not really. I think he saw more in that house initially than I did, uh, because I think he was kind of surprised when I didn't pick that one initially after that day. But like I said before, like I said in previous videos, I didn't realize how great that house was until I went back and watched the video several days later when I was doing the editing. I might have totally missed that one if I hadn't shot video in there. I'm so glad I did that. After I move in and settle in the new house, you think of going on another nature hike. Yeah, probably. I mean, I like doing that, and you know, they're fun to do, and people seem to like watching them. So, is there a doorbell that has a meowing sound? No, but I don't need anything making meowing sounds. I got enough things that make meowing sounds around here. Don't I? Wish I could figure out how to turn them off at 3 in the morning when they're making meowing sounds. We had fun seeing the backyard when I did the opening and closing of last night's vlog. That's cool. Yeah, yeah, I'll do more of those. I see the potential if I have a good enough Wi-Fi signal in the new place that I might do live streams from the backyard. That'd be kind of fun. When do I hope to move into my new house? Sooner the better. It's all a matter of how quickly I can get movers out here. Because I mean, I'm technically ready to go now, but you know, that's everybody. I guess this is moving season or something, and the ones I've talked to so far have been pretty backed up. Yeah, well, we'll definitely be doing live streams at the new house pretty soon. It's going to be a little while though. That'll probably because right now the internet is here at the apartment. I don't have internet at the house, and I could set up the cell phone as a mobile hotspot. But then what ends up happening is you end up with since the data through the mobile is through the cell network. It isn't going to have the bandwidth that I get with the cable modem here. So going swimming today? Probably. I have the job in the house that God intended for you to have. I hope so. It sure feels right. Yeah, House six was a close second. You know, I went into House six thinking already that I thought House three was going to be the one, but I wanted to look at six just to be sure. Like I said, there were a couple things about six I didn't really like. Um, the backyard I thought was a nice size, but it was kind of plain, which wasn't a problem. That's just a blank canvas. I really liked the fact that there was 4 bedrooms and that the master suite and that was separated from the rest of the house and in the back of the house. The inside of the house was beautiful. I love the high vaulted ceilings. That would have been great. Um, but there was that empty field that was in the process of being turned into another residential area, and I knew that was going to be 2 or 3 years of construction noise back there because I went through the same thing when I got my house in California because that was a brand new house. I was the first person to ever live in that, and for 2 years afterwards, they were still doing the rest of the development, and so there was construction noise all day, every day for 2 years out there. I didn't want to deal with that. And there were just a couple of quirky things I didn't like about it. I think I made the right choice. Yeah, I caught a break that house three didn't go faster because that was my concern when I looked at because I it was like I think it was on a Monday that I went and looked at that house and I think it was like Thursday or Friday. No, it was a Wednesday, and I think it was like the next Sunday before I edited it. And so several days had gone by, and the realtor told me that houses in this area usually go 7 or 10 days. And I said, oh, I hope I didn't miss that one. And I didn't. Yeah, you're right. It was the house is really nice, and the neighbor and the people that owned it did took very good care of it. Did some really nice upgrades to it. Do I have time to paint? Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's what the next few days are going to be all about. Is I'm going to spend the next few days at the house. So yeah, it was meant to be mine. I think you're right. I am glad with the choice I made. Most definitely. I haven't found anything in that house that I look at yet that I say, oh man, this was maybe not a good idea. Yeah, I was thinking about painting the cat's room first. I also kind of want to. I also kind of want to get their shelves up so that the day they do move in there, they can, kind of get used to their room as it's going to be. This is how I'll get them to bond to that room because they'll spend the first day or so in there exclusively, and then they'll get to know, okay, this is our place, and then when they come out, that will be, then it'll be exploring my place. Yeah, I tried calling. Well, I tried talking to movers on Wednesday when I was at work, and they said they wanted to come out and look at the place, and I said I can't do that right now because I'm at work, but I wanted to see if I could get you guys to come as early as tomorrow, and tomorrow being Monday, you know, and they said, well, we want to come, see the place, see what we're moving first, what we're getting into. And since I couldn't do that, then they stopped talking to me. So I don't know. I'm gonna work more seriously on that either today or tomorrow. It might be have to be tomorrow because I think a lot of movers might be closed today because it's Sunday. Yeah, we could do that with the cat trees, but I'd like to get their room painted and the shelves up because if you do the painting, first, then you put the shelves up afterwards, then it's then you don't have to take the shelves down to paint it because that's how I do things. If you're gonna do it, you do it right, and that means you take all the electrical fixtures off the walls, all the brackets off the walls, all the shelving, anything that's on the wall that isn't going to be painted, you take it off. And I don't want to put those shelves up and then have to take them back down again. Couldn't I send them pictures? Yeah, I suppose I could. Uh, but they didn't say that was an option. I think they like to look at things personally, be there, because pictures aren't enough. If you got to deal with stairs and stuff like that. So I think they kind of want to look at where everything is, where they can put their trucks, and that can't go in pictures. So when do I have to be out of the apartment? Middle of August. So I got time. That's the advantage of having 2 months. I'll be out of the apartment long before the lease is up. Right, Bite? Thanks, CMV Young. Appreciate that. Have a great rest of the weekend. Oh yeah, the cat bed. That'll come. This little corner back here behind Bite here is kind of the cat corner. That's where all the toys and the cat beds and stuff like that are. You're taught when as a youngster to take pride in what you do and do the best of your ability. Yeah, that's the truth. It also means you don't have to redo it again and make it right the first time. Yep, just like Mike Holmes said. Mike Holmes is one of those shows I watched all the time. Yeah, that's the short list, William. What am I going to do with the cooking situation? Well, I can still use the electric stove, but we'll figure something out. That's a lesser priority right now. You know, I think, and I think it can be delayed even further if I can get a grill. Because once I have that, then I can do some cooking on gas. When will I start the process of installing the gas range? That's that's a ways away yet. Like I said just a minute ago, I can deal with the electric for a while. I dealt with electric for a year, but ultimately I want to have gas. And there goes bite. So now it's just me again. Flooring in the attic, great storage. Yeah, yeah, I might do that too. You just put some plywood up there. But there's so much storage in this place to begin with. Yeah, definitely gonna take it one step at a time. That's how you got to do everything. Yeah, my cats were the same way. They kind of gave me the stink eye the first few days here, but they got used to it, and they'll do fine in this new place. They're gonna love the new place. How bad is the humidity in Texas compared to California? It's it's more, but I mean, it isn't oppressive. I think it's 40 or 50%, which is that's fine. I can deal with that. Yeah, you're right, Pegtooth. The shop space is probably one of the most important things. That's one of that's one thing I really want to think about too is getting that ready because that's going to be such an integral part of doing everything else in the house is having the garage set up, and so that's why one of the first priorities I think today is going to go get one of those swamp coolers for the garage. I looked at one the other day, and I think I'm definitely going to pick up one of those because then what I can do is I can cool the garage off, and then I can get it to the point where I can put like the lights up there and not have it be like 900 degrees in there. My cats used to love the fireplace in the house in California. They'd both lay down in front of it. In fact, I put their cat bed right in front of it, and they just go sleep in that because it was warm. But electric fireplace, I guess that's a little different. Mine was like a electric ignition on a gas fireplace. Thanks, Jen. Thanks for stopping in. Enjoy your barbecue. Yeah, like I said earlier. I think I'm gonna maybe get a barbecue here pretty quick. And I was thinking this morning I'm gonna, um, move all the meat from the freezer over to the house, so I can maybe start cooking some meals over there. Hi, Nibble. There's Nibble and there's Bite in the background there, hiding behind the kitty tree. That's not food. That's my finger. That's me pointing. This is kitty treats. Come on, Nibble. Got one for you too. Oh well. Yeah, looks like Bite's maybe gonna come join us here again, so. I have an upright freezer actually, and that will get hooked up at some point too. Yeah, I figured Psycho must have been your cat's name. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go outdoor kitchen. It's too hot to cook in outside in the summer, I think. Yeah. Psycho, your Psycho suits him as a name, huh? Yeah, I suppose. Did he get the name before he became a psycho, or was he given the name because he's a psycho? Pool house, kitchen, huh? Yeah, maybe I can build a kitchen in the pool. That'd be nice. Barbecue while you're swimming. Where will I put the freezer? Probably out in the garage. That was where it was. That was where it was in California. It was designed so it just slid right underneath my workbench, and so that was really nice. The cat came with a name, huh? Do I miss not working for Disney? No, no. I mean, I love the job, but it was going nowhere. I need I need a job for the future, and it wasn't going to be Disney. And I mean, I'm better off now. I'm making more money, and I have full time plus. I'm working on average 44 hours a week, 36 hours one week, 48 hours the next week. They want me back. I doubt it. No, they didn't appreciate me when I was there. That's something I really like about this new job is I think the big problem I had um, with Disney is that I was always being evaluated by people that didn't really know my job or understand my job. And it's nice now. My boss, my supervisor, they've all done my job, so they know what's involved and they know when it's done right. And so it's really enabling me to stand out and shine when you have somebody evaluating you who actually knows what it is you're doing. That was always the problem at Disney. That wasn't the case. You need a mermaid? Hi, Joseph from the UK. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, really nice paycheck. Can't complain about that at all. In fact, it's interesting. They decided to declare that on Friday was Juneteenth, so that became a company holiday, and they were so concerned about could we keep staffing going during that day that they asked for volunteers, and they paid like triple pay for that day. So, I'd planned to work on Friday anyway, so I said, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely in." Um, the triple time, on top of that, on top of what I'm already making, absolutely. Thanks, Joseph. I'm glad you like the JFK assassination series. Yeah, I'm proud of that one. I was really excited, all the things I was able to find, and it was really fun kind of retracing everything. And a lot of people were, there was a lot of hate that came my way in the comments section from the conspiracy theorists. But whatever, I invited people at the end of the third video. I said, hey, I didn't really talk about any of the conspiracy theories. Feel free to discuss them here. It's an open forum. I'm not going to shut down anything. But, I just chose to stick with what the official story is. And, like I said, it's an interesting enough story. There are some questions, but there's also a lot of things that kind of do fall into place. So, and I was so excited to be able to actually get into that cell that Lee Harvey was in. That was completely unplanned. It just happened. I mean, I think I've told the story before, but I went into that building just to see if I could go down into the basement and see the area where it happened. I was originally told, no, we're doing construction down there right now, and we can't let anybody down there. And then a minute later, a guy who was there just said, yeah, hold on a second. And said, come with me into the elevator. And we got into an elevator and went up to the third or fourth floor. And when we were just getting out of the elevator, the guy says, oh yeah, this is the elevator that Lee Harvey rode down to the basement. And that was very exciting. And then next thing I know, I'm standing outside this glass window with the cells in there, and they said, yeah, these are the cells. This was the prison cells that we had at the time, and Oswald was in that one in the middle. And it's like, oh wow, that's cool. I can actually see it. And then next thing I know, the guy gets the key and he opens the glass door and lets me go in there. And that just totally blew my mind. That's one of those things that happens to Jordan. It just doesn't happen to me. So it was really exciting when it did. You told your friend upstairs about the vlog I did about the the immortal, what was it? The immortal, however many of them there were. Sorry, I'm embarrassed. I forget how many there were. Yeah, like I said, Peg, that's one of those things that happens to Jordan. Jordan is the one that manages to talk his way into things. And I mean, I've been with him on enough of his vlogs that I've seen him do it. It's like, oh, we don't normally do this, but yeah, okay, in your case, we'll make an exception. I've seen that happen so many times. His DNA is still there. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long that cage was used after that. You know, have I jumped into my pool yet? I haven't jumped into it, but I've been in it a number of times. I actually went over there last night about 9:30 because I decided I wanted to kind of walk around the neighborhood and see what it's like at night. On a Saturday night, see if it turns into like some party scene. I didn't expect it would, and it did. 9:30, that place was all buttoned up and looked like everybody was in bed. So it was nice and quiet. And I walked around, and then after walking around for a little while, I took a dip in the pool last night, and that was really nice. You think there's a conspiracy theory of what happened to Kennedy? Yeah, very possible. I don't know. I wasn't there, but there are a lot of things that seem weird. I think the thing that always struck me strangest was the Zapruder film, and specifically the Zapruder film of the kill shot, because you look at the shot that killed him, and you watch Kennedy's head, and when the bullet hits him, his head snaps back like that. Now, from the position the car was, if Oswald fired at him from the Texas Book Depository, the shot would have come in from behind. And you'd think that a bullet hitting you from behind wouldn't make your head snap back like that; it would make it push forward. But that's not what happened. So that, I think, is probably the single best piece of evidence that there may have been another shooter. And you know, the grassy knoll, that would have been where it might have been. You know, that would be where it would have had to be in order to um, cause the head to snap back like that. Yeah, I heard that Jordan has the police working on something too. I don't have any details though. Yeah, that's one of the conspiracy theories I've heard. Yeah, well, there's all sorts of them, and we may never know the truth unless somebody makes a deathbed confession or something like that. What was my favorite meal and dessert while working at Disneyland? Well, the stuff we had in the cast commissary didn't compare to any of the stuff you had out in the park. So I rarely ate at Disneyland when I was in the park. And when I did, what I would do is actually sneak backstage into the cast commissary and get something there because it was cheaper. You pay $15 for a hot dog and at in the park, but you go back to the cast commissary and you get a Subway sandwich for regular price. Yeah, 21,000 views on the Oswald video, on one of the Oswald videos. Yeah, that's far and away my most popular video. And it was funny, that was Jordan's idea. He thought I should do that one. That was good advice. I get a lot of good advice from him. That's why I tend to take his advice when he makes it, because he's been through this. He's the expert, and he's definitely turned his channel into a success. It was you who killed JFK, even though you weren't born. It was you. Yeah, that reminds me of an old. There's a comic named Emo Phillips. He used to, who was famous for about 15 minutes in the 90s. He made a joke about that, and the joke was, "Yeah, people always ask me where I was when JFK was assassinated." And he said, "I don't have an alibi." Yeah, I don't have an alibi either, except I wasn't born yet either. November '63. I was about 6 months away. Yeah, I think I heard that about the troll too. I actually hope it's the troll I'm thinking of because that guy's come after me too. But it would definitely be a good thing if we could get something legal done against some of these trolls, because some of these trolls, that it isn't just sick people posting dumb things. They get dangerous, they get creepy. If Jordan visits the house, where would Jaw stay in what room? Well, Jaw always sleeps in wherever Jordan sleeps. So, when Jordan was here last time, he slept on the sofa bed that's this couch, and Jaw just slept next to him. So, you know, Jaw will just sleep wherever Jordan sleeps, and Jordan will probably sleep in the guest bedroom. So, Jaw will sleep there too. Was it expensive living in California? How did I do it? At the time I bought, yes, it is expensive living. It's very expensive living in California. But at the time I bought the house, I had a really good job. That was right when I got the job at Warner Brothers. Was making really good money. I actually qualified, for the loan on that house for myself. I didn't even have, my father was ready to co-sign for me. He didn't have to. I was able to qualify on my house just for the income that I was making. Yeah, the troll situation is just really pathetic. I mean, you guys that come here periodically, you see it from time to time. We haven't had a troll for a while, but they pop in here a little bit. I guess I'm not big enough yet to warrant real troll activity. Just people come in here and want to post something stupid. But Jordan's a big operator now. 120, 125,000 subscribers. That's making noise. But see, that's part of the reason also that I allow him to be a moderator on this site. It's because when he comes on when we're doing the live streams, he already knows who most of these trolls are. So he sees them pop up and boom, they're gone. Hi VNA, how are you? Yeah, you're right. It's the very end of the golden rule. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. But you know what? That's what they're all about. They're all sad, pathetic losers who can't do anything on their own, and rather than spending their effort trying to build themselves up, they spend it tearing others down. It's sad. And that's what you really got to do. You got to just acknowledge that these are just, like I said, sad, pathetic losers. Hi, Ruth. Just bites back. Throw him in the shot now. Found me because of Jordan. Yeah, well, 99% of you did. Jordan's at 138 now. Wow. I haven't looked. I haven't looked in a couple weeks, but you consider the fact he hit 100,000 just at the start of the year. That just shows that his site's just getting bigger and bigger, faster and faster. Because halfway through the year, he's almost halfway to 200,000. Took him 3 years to get to 100,000, and he may hit a 200,000 before the end of the year. That's insane. Can't imagine growth like that. But you can see the impact he has too, because he did that guitar vlog a couple days ago, and when he pulled up one of those guitars that basically I gave him the money for, and when he pulled up and showed that guitar, he mentioned the channel, and in the days since that vlog went up, I've got 40 new subscribers out of that. Do I have AC in the new place? Yes. Yes, definitely. Yeah, you got to have AC here in Texas. You'll never survive without it. Yeah, that's totally what it is. Jordan's personality is just, it's hypnotic. It really is. Anyone who watches him, you can't help but like him. Yeah, bite is facing the wall. I actually, the way I put it is, he's showing you his butt. See, right there, that's Jaw's butt. Yeah, I haven't been outside yet, but it was 84 when I started the vlog, and that was almost 2 hours ago. So I'm sure we're pushing 90 now. When I get done with the live stream here, I'm going to run over to the house and we're going to do some stuff over there. I think what I want to do today is I gotta buy a washer and dryer for the mud room by the garage there. I want to buy a swamp cooler, um, and I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Come to the UK, stay at your place, and save expenses. Yeah, well, at this point, I don't know about doing travel vlogs. That's kind of Jordan's thing. If I was going to do travel vlogs, might kind of I'd be kind of going in a different direction. I love national parks. When I was a kid, my parents used to take my sister and I every year, a family vacation. We'd go to a national park, and I really wouldn't mind doing that again. Look at some of those things as an adult because I didn't really appreciate or comprehend how massive and how amazing these things were when I was a kid. Now that I kind of understand the geology a little bit, I'd love to go back to Yellowstone and Grand Canyon and some of those really cool things, and talk about them not only just from a wow, this is beautiful standpoint, but from the perspective of this is how it happened. Never heard the term mud room. Yeah, that's I think it's kind of a Midwest term. It's a room that's right off the door that basically you use it to take off your shoes and your coat and stuff like that. Anything that might be muddy, and so you're not traipsing mud through the house. And I call it the mud room because on one side you have the washer and dryer, and on the other side there's like some seats and like coat hangers and a bunch of like shelves and stuff like that for putting that kind of stuff. So that's clearly what that is. Yeah, see that's probably what I would do. And it might be something next summer, when I'm on vacation or something like that, because I'm going to get vacation now, and I'll probably use it this time. And it's really great because I get like I don't know, just some freakishly large number of hours every year. And it seems to me if I, even right at the beginning, if I schedule it out right, I could get like 3 straight weeks off. So, that'd be a great time. Go look at maybe even a couple of national parks, do some vlogging out there. That'd be fun. Hello, Milwaukee. Thank you. Thank you for the for the congratulations. Yeah, yeah. You take the short week off, you get 10 days off. You take a short week, long week, short week, you pay for it with 10 days off, but you get like, 21 days plus the weekend at each end. So 28 days. Take 120 hours and get 4 weeks. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, Sammy. Like I said, I admired the beauty, but I didn't really appreciate it as much as I think I would now. Because of my interest in geology now, and so many of these national parks, that's what it started with. A lot of people don't know it, but Yellowstone and all the great stuff, all the hot springs and geysers and stuff like that. That's all because there's a big volcano underneath it, what they call a super volcano. Yeah, Beth is going to bring Flash at some point, but her dog Moxie has been sick, and I think Moxie's starting to get better now. But uh, she had to kind of postpone her trip because of that. But I think we'll see Flash at some point. I don't know anything about Big Bend National Park, so I'd have to look up that one. The ones I know, I've been to Mount Rainier, I've been to Yosemite, I've been to Yellowstone, um, I've been to the Grand Canyon, something called Crater Lake. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I called Yellowstone or Yosemite instead of Yellowstone. I get them confused sometimes. Yeah, Yellowstone, whatever. I should do barbecue food vlogs in Texas. Well, I don't want to rob too much from Jeff Kidd. Jeff Kidd's doing the barbecue, the smoker stuff, but maybe I would love to learn how to do some of that stuff. Mount St. Helens will be fun. I've never been to that, but my parents went there a number of years later, and they actually bought me a little souvenir thing that was filled with ash from the volcano eruption. Because I remember when Mount St. Helens went off, because even in California, it was dropping ash on us. Yeah, we'll do some more instant pot stuff too. I'm going to have more counter space in the kitchen in the new house. So, and I love the fact that it's got all those shelves that are over the window near the kitchen. That means I'm going to be able to put a lot of like my stuff in there. A lot of my cooking utensils and stuff like that. Bye bye. All right, back to me again. The computer wants me to do a reboot. Yeah, it doesn't know I'm doing a live stream right now. Yeah, let's not reboot right now. There's Nibble. Nibble's just over there laying on the floor, chilling. Yeah, I think that's probably a good reason to do that too, because a lot of people from around the world, you don't get to see some of the beautiful national parks that we have in the United States. And like I said, I love that kind of thing, so it'd be fun to do. And that's kind of the thing that makes a good vlog is when it's something that I'm interested in. It's the same thing that makes Jordan's vlogs good, is because he's generally interested. He won't go out and do filming locations for some movie he doesn't like or some movie he's never even seen. It's stuff that he likes and that he's seen and that he wants to share, and that's what makes it good is that he really is excited about the subject. I mean, one of the funnest videos I had tagged along with him was when we went to the Revenge of the Nerd filming locations. It was just fun. He was like a kid in a candy store, uh, walking around that place, finding out where everything was and triangulating it from screen grabs in the movie. Yeah, Nibble comes downstairs a bunch. She'll definitely stay up there during the day, but right now she's just over here. You see her kind of peering out from behind the couch there a little bit. Yeah, that's her right there. She's just chilling, watching me here. Yeah, right there. So yeah, I think she's kind of learned that this is where the kitty treats are, and the kitty treats get dished out when we're doing live streams. So you bite and nibble like to sit on the window watching traffic. I've never really noticed that much of that. At the house in California, there was a window at the top of the stairs that kind of looked over the front of the house, and sometimes Bite and Nibble would get up there and watch, especially Bite. But in their bedroom, I used to have a shelf right up against the window where they could sit out there and look at what was going out in the backyard. They never really did that a whole lot. Did I ever have any inkling that I'd be moving to Texas? That it was anything deeper than that drew me than just convenience? Well, I mean, I've been thinking about Texas for a few years. It's like, it was just a matter of picking up and, finally doing it. And a year and a half ago, when the hours dropped to zero at Disney, it's like, okay, that's the incentive I need to start it. But I've been thinking about it for a long time. How did I meet Jordan? There's a vlog about that way back at the beginning, the day we left California for the last time drive here. Jordan told the story of how we met, and I think I did the same thing probably on my 100th vlog, where I told my version of it. But basically, we met at a concert. We were both into a band called Guided by Voices. You've heard me talk about them before. And I think if you watch Jordan's guitar vlog, he mentioned Guided by Voices too, because one of his guitars he used to have a quote from Bob Pollard, the singer of Guided by Voices. And but yeah, that's where we met. We both, Guided by Voices is out of Ohio from Dayton, and Jordan used to live in Troy, Ohio, which is just a little north of Dayton. So he knew of and knew Robert Pollard, and so when Guided by Voices started becoming big and started touring a lot, he started showing up at the shows. And at that point, my friend Matt and I were already doing that, and I was wearing a Residence T-shirt of all things, and Jordan was hanging out with one of his friends, and his friend said, "Oh, look, that guy over there has a Residence T-shirt on." And they came over and introduced us, and introduced themselves, and it's been that way ever since. It's been almost 20 years now. Your cat who's no longer alive. I love the doorbell. She thought people were coming to see her. Yeah, I think my cats are probably exactly the opposite of that. They're going to run into their room when they hear the doorbell, but that's what they did anyway. Will I be adding a hammock and a fire pit to the backyard? Well, I have like a fire pit, like a potbelly stove kind of thing that will eventually get put up in the backyard. It's made out of cast iron, so it's all rusty and got a really nice patina on it. But I'll probably put that out there. I don't know about an actual fire pit though. We'll see. Yeah, I made them as CDs too. All right, thanks for stopping in, Bill. Yeah, I'm going to stop pretty quick here too because we're quickly approaching the 2 hour mark, and I want to get over to the house because I haven't even shot a vlog for today yet alone, but I got a bunch of things I want to do, so we'll definitely get something done. Yeah, I really like that kinetic sculpture too. It reminded me of those kinetic sculptures they have for the tornado memorial in downtown Waco. Now he's over here. But yeah, we're just a little afternoon right now, so yeah, his favorite thing in the world is the brush. That's why I gotta hide this thing because he'd be bloody by the time I came back if I left that thing out all the time, wouldn't you? Because you just love rubbing up against that, don't you? That's like the coolest thing in the world. Have I taken them to the new house or am I waiting to move? No, I haven't taken them. They haven't been there yet. They won't go until they move for good. 2:30 a.m. on Monday morning here in Australia. Yikes! Thanks for staying up that late. I've thought about getting one of those brushes that sticks to the wall, but the concern I have is that bite, like I said, would rub himself raw. There'd just be blood all over the walls. Just finished cooking spaghetti in your Instant Pot. That's cool. Just because everybody wants to see him, not just his butt. Do I have an Amazon wish list? No, I don't. But I don't know. Enough people are asking. Maybe I'll create one at some point. We'll see. You hear Nibble kind of shuffling around over there. I gotta watch out about with like plastic bags like that because she loves to chew on plastic bags and that's not good for them. Does Bite like to have his toenails cut? Does any cat ever like to have their toenails cut? Yeah, well, that's what I got to do. I'm going to go over and start working on the house. So we're going to do that pretty quick here. We're going to wrap this up. How's my buddy's Island Horizon Videos channel doing? He's still out there. He's not getting that many subscribers. I think, we got him up to like 225 or 250, and he's just kind of stagnated there. But yeah, if you want to go check him out, there's some new people watching here now. Go check it out and see if you like it. He's an old time friend of mine. He was the co-creator of the Guided by Voices website that he and I still run, and he kind of got inspired into doing some vlogging based on seeing me do a vlog and actually have a little bit of success doing it. And he started trying to do it. And basically, what he does is he goes out and shoots videos of the ocean. He lives on the Big Island, Hawaii, and so there's some beautiful beaches there. And what he'll do is he'll just set the camera up and run it for like 20 or 30 or 40 minutes or something like that of some beautiful beach scene. And it'll just be that. And it's really pretty, and it's called Island Horizon Videos. And definitely check it out if you're interested. Might be the last live stream from the apartment. Maybe if I can get if I can get a mover in this week. Otherwise, next week maybe the last one. I don't know. You might find I end up canceling one too, just because hey, we're moving this day, and won't be able to do one. But is Bite facing the right way now? Actually, he is. Yeah, I thought about the USB outlets. I don't know. I could still maybe change that. Thanks for staying up so late, Sammy. That's awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think we're going to wind this down now because I kind of want to get over to the house and start doing some work over there. Got a lot of things I want to do, and only 4 days to do it. So, and I still got to shoot a video for tonight, so probably ought to get to it. So, thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time. My new video, hopefully, will be up in about 8 hours. And other than that, have a great rest of the day, everyone. Thanks for watching.